now, it's time for the LJN Fight Night Podcast. Hosted by The Plan, Sash Man, the Victorian Brother, Brutus Valentine, and everyone's favorite man all up in smoke, Duarte the Pont. Ladies and gentlemen, they're ready to rumble, so let's go to the studio. Take it away, Sash Man.
We're back, boys. Welcome to the 5th episode of LJN Fight Night. I'm your host, Sash Man. This is Brother Brutus Valentine, and down there is the man Duarte the Pont. How are you, lads?
Not bad. And yourself?
I'm fired up for this episode. It's going to be a ripper. What do you reckon, Brutus?
Yeah, I think we've got things running very smoothly now in your safe and very capable hands, Ash.
Oh, damn straight. I've got a whole corner set up in my man cave now. It's dedicated to the podcast. We're giving away this bad boy today, a clear Ken Patera. You guys have to comment. So get on there, guys. Comment. I think we're a bit delayed on Facebook. StreamYard says it's lost access to Facebook, but it's going to reconnect to Facebook. So, look, guys, don't panic if you can't see us yet.
Just watch it on YouTube.
Will.
Is it on YouTube Live as well?
Not live. It takes a little time to click there, but it's saying we're live now on Facebook.
Okay.
Brutus, can you confirm this? Guys, if you're watching on YouTube, you can watch this live on LJN Elite Custom Figures, which is a Facebook group every Thursday evening, 9 p.m. US Eastern. In Australia, it's midday here on a Friday. So yeah, that's when we're live. If you're watching it on YouTube and you want to check it out live. Also, special thanks to a few of the groups that share this podcast: LJN Forum, Rubber Rumble, LJN for Life, LJN for Life Down Under, and Figs Down Under. So today, guys, we've got two great guests. We've got a great customizer named Jason Espedido, and we've got an unbelievable talent in Todd Tomeo. They'll talk to us a little bit about what they do. So let's bring them on. Jason, hello. Todd, hello.
Hey guys, what's up?
What's up, guys? How are you?
Jason, how are you?
What's up?
Good.
Yeah, you guys just talk amongst yourselves. That's fine.
I never met Jason before.
Oh, there you go.
No.
That's what this show's all about.
Exactly.
He does customs. I know that's for sure.
Yeah.
You must have seen one of his pictures in one of the tournaments and whatnot.
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying I never met him personally.
Oh, I see what you mean. So you finally put a face to a name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, good to meet you guys, sir. Glad to be on here.
We're glad to have you on, guys. What's been going on in the custom world for you, Jason? Have you been working on anything special?
Well, they had that the LJN figures and customs. They had that Halloween contest.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah,
I just saw the results to that.
Yeah. So apparently you could submit as many figures as you wanted. There was no limit, and I submitted 2. And it was a bit different. I mean, they had some really good submissions this time. But I guess it's the first time they did it, so they had some really good ones. I just submitted 2 of them, and I submitted Ricky Steamboat dressed as Michael Jackson in Thriller.
That was a good one. Yeah, that was
Brilliant.
And
That's
and then I wasn't sure if I was gonna do another one. I kind of just last minute just did Dynamite Kid as Marty McFly.
that was also another good one.
Yeah, Back to the Future too. Just kind of a last thing. I mean, I could, it kind of resembled Dynamite Kid kind of resembled Michael J. Fox in a way. So I just thought
Perfect height for the
facial,
figure as well.
yeah, the facial wise, and I had just the one Dynamite just beat to shit. So I was just like, I might as well do it. And yeah, fortunately, I got second place. So that's nice. It was nice to place there. So it's all good.
Yeah, that was a good. That was a good little competition. I liked the Dumb and Dumber figure. That was
Yeah, I voted for that one myself. I thought it was pretty creative as well.
Yeah, it was a great movie. That's why. So he did that.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
One of the best. What was the winning? What was the winning figure?
The winning figure was
Pennywise. No.
Andre. So the Andre dressed as Pennywise. So really good.
I didn't see them yet. I gotta see this.
Good detail on that one for sure.
Yeah, and I think Kevin Swales got third place.
Yeah, he did a great job on that demolition.
Oh, his was crazy. Yeah, another one like just
he's really good. Yeah, he's really good with detail.
Yeah,
and he's good.
Todd, what have you been up to?
So I'm planning like a big, collection release or whatever. But one of the things I'm doing actually, besides making figures, I've been scanning 3D stuff, and I can't get it as good as I need it to be yet. But I'm going to, I'm not going to stop until I get it. I want to archive this original set. So I want to be able to have them all for me, for you, right? I know sometimes you guys like to reuse figures, but I feel like I can definitely get us to the point we don't have to do that necessarily, because I can have them digitally and we can make whatever we need whenever we want, right? And I think that if I put the time into learning exactly how it's done so I can get the actual image of the figure the way I want, then we can have them all digital all the time. And if you ever wanted something really, really specific that you needed, I can make that happen, or even share the file. I like to share. I mean, I would share the file if you needed that figure and you wanted it, things like that.
Todd, I'm a real hands-on sort of customizer. I like to wrap my hands around something and really build it with my hands. But you're more of a digital builder. You've got this mind where you're very clever on the computer and you can build it on the computer, which is a great talent. But if I was to get a figure and say to you, scan it and print it, you get your scanner, I'm guessing. It rotates around your scanner or something, picks up all the little bits and pieces, and then you print it. But would you get the same amount of detail, say, on his face or so forth?
Yeah.
Okay, you can. I've printed ones that have done that and looked at it myself and was convinced. So that's why when I started doing it, I wasn't getting the results that I was shown. And I'm doing a lot of research to find out, how do I make that happen? And the more and more I read, I'm getting closer to that answer. Number one is, photography, high definition, certain software. Like, there's steps and steps and steps and steps, but I just keep checking off the boxes. And I'm hoping within the next month to get one done, right? So I can say, okay, right, I'm only doing one. Like, I'm trying to do like Hogan or like Coco Beware, for example, right?
The Hogan one you did was nice.
Right, because Coco Beware is not a common figure, right? Like, you're not always ordering Coco Bewares to modify and change. But it would be cool if we can use him more, right? Yeah. There's certain figures we don't see enough of. Because you're afraid, right? No one's going to cut up a slaughter. Like, we're just not doing that.
Can I show you guys something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
So here's the dilemma. You've got a Hogan here.
My favorite figure of all time.
That's completely like covered in marker in the face, and it's all just colored. The rubber is just completely, I don't know. I've never actually seen this where it's actually almost turning white. Have you guys seen that? So what do you guys suggest, like, when you got, like he was like Todd is saying, is like you got these beaters, but they're rare figures.
Yes.
What do we do? Like, do we actually just get them reprinted or remolded, use
I would
those molds and not waste the actual originals? You know what I mean?
Painting's
Like,
okay. Painting's okay.
I personally mold a lot of these figures, so I've got parts and I
Right.
can use whatever I want when I want.
Exactly.
I'll almost mold every single part of the LJN line. So I can say top half him, bottom half him, and I can just choose and then just cast it myself.
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's I guess the perks of learning how to cast a mold, which isn't hard, but it does take a bit of practice. Anyone can do it.
It's hard. It takes practice.
Yeah.
Would you guys actually just redo these as originals, like repaint them as they were originally,
Yes.
or would you just use them for a custom?
I would
job?
never.
I would use him for a custom. Why not?
Oh, looking at him,
already
close up. Big
Well, I
Onsky.
say, you break my heart.
No, man. You know how many Rick Rudes I've asked Nick Hales to chop up? He's chopped up at least 2 or 3, and he didn't want to do. I'm like, chop it up because I wanted him to use the upper body of what's it called again, Rick Rude. So I wanted that as one of my customs. So then I tossed him to Rick Rudes, and he just chopped off the heads from me because I wanted to use the body. I wanted to use his legs because I wanted to have different bodies and different things. Like you're doing in digital, you're doing in digital, but I still like customs made out of just rubber still, right?
Oh, no, that's fine. Yeah.
But and I do like the printed ones, just like this guy.
Yeah.
I like both, but I do like like Sasha says, I prefer to build.
That's great. I just the destruction of a Rick Rude or like a warrior. But you know what it is? Because in Canada, you got them regularly.
Yeah,
right?
so that's why we don't care. I don't care about it.
So like, I never even knew they existed. And then like when I saw them in the magazines as a kid, and I would see those iconic Mad Band Bigelow, always like really like ones I was like, where the heck are these things? Warrior. And I would want to Oahu, and I want to order these things, and you couldn't. And then all of a sudden I find out, well, they're in Canada. It's like, what? So yeah, I never saw them. So now when I see them, and I see someone with them, I think they're like these special things. So I don't like when they get destroyed.
But nowadays they're expensive. But like 3-4 years ago, they weren't that much, right? Like a Rick Rude at max 3-4 years ago, I remember at highest was going for $80.
Yeah.
Right. Now it's like 200. Like, why is it even going that much? You know, like I don't understand, but it is.
It's only going to get higher too. You know.
Hey Brutus, how many figures do you think from those estimations that you gave in your book, right? Dude, how many of that estimation heads have been chopped off, you think?
Well, we were talking about this some other time. The figures were made to last. So
no, I know that. I'm talking about the ones that like Zash, the heads he's chopped off.
What about you?
I know me, Nick Hales, Joe Gatter, all those guys.
Yeah.
Jason,
I did too.
How many heads he's chopped off of figures? How many heads you think have been chopped off for custom?
Less than 1%, probably 0.5%
Really?
of what was released. I mean, if
Really?
we talk about Hogan, about 2.1 million figures, right?
Yeah. Okay. True.
You know,
Yeah. Right.
When you get to the Black Card series, you know, there's for around 50 to 100,000, and as you guys are saying, they're not being chopped up as much, but it's still a lot of figures that were made and a lot of figures that were survived and get found in basements and end up at yard sales and I read people say, oh, customizers destroying figures, and there's a lot of them out there. There's not so much of certain figures. I mean, you know, you wouldn't cut Slaughter's head off, would you? But
that's what I'm
cutting his head off once or twice isn't going to ruin the market. In fact, if you got 10 Slaughters and cut the head off 9, then your 10th is worth even much more. Yeah. But not to the value of the other 9, though. I don't think you guys are making a dent in the available supply.
True.
Possibly more of them have actually been thrown out in the waste over the years by people who don't know they're worth anything or got any value anymore.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, that's true.
Sitting in landfill now.
A lot of it is coming now to casting and molding full figures. Yeah. So that's going to save a lot of them as well. If you're worried about that, 2020, I reckon I cut out 1 million heads off figures, not 1 million, but a lot. But 2021, I've done very few that aren't my own made from scratch customs. So that does eliminate a bit of the process. But have we got a letter this week, Brutus?
Yeah, just before you guys close off on that, it was interesting to listen to. Joe Petkus sent a message through on that. He says, resins are so cheap now, $49 shipped. There's no need to cut originals anymore.
Yep.
You know, and if you're talking about like Hillbilly Jim or Iron Sheik, you get the beaters, you
Different
cut them
story.
up. But once Todd was talking about Cocoa Beware, he's past that limit. You know, you just go for the resin on that one.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Plus, like I said, real quick, it's like for myself too, creatively, if I can, like, when I look at figures, I still do what you guys do, right? When I try to make figures in my head, I always look at the old ones. So if I have them on hand for myself, now I can work faster by, you know, so it's good. You know, I think it'll help the process, at least creatively.
Yep, absolutely. All right, over to life hacks.
Oh, that close-up gets me every time. All right, maybe if I put the letter up in front, it'll be better. Keep the letters coming in, guys. This is really what we need, and if the LJN Life Hacks can help you out, that's good. This week, Randy Adonis of Cock Rock, California writes, hi, LJN Life Hacks. I need some advice. Zat, you look like a ladies' man. Dwight, you seem like you've had some smooth moves, and Brutus, well, you look like you've had a lot of rejection in the past. I'm a good-looking guy, a bit like Randy Ramjam from the wrestling film. When I try and pick up the ladies, I keep failing at the last hurdle. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. When we're in the bar and things are going well, I ask them if they'd like to come back to my place and see my collection of 8-inch rubber man toys. Lickety-split, they vanish. Only one took me up on the offer, and she looked more like Moolah than Sherry. When I showed her my dolls, she stood mouth agape, and I thought, here we go. So when I went to get her a nightcap, and then I returned, she'd vanished too, along with my Hillbilly Jim. But the joke was on her. She left his hat behind, and we all know that Hillbilly's hat is worth much more than his figure. So, Hacks, what am I doing wrong, and what do you think I should do differently?
Make head and the tail of that, boys. What do you reckon, Dwight?
I didn't even know what the question was.
Randy.
I was trying to listen the whole time, and I'm like, what is going on? I didn't understand the question. I was trying to.
You're trying to pick up a lady, right?
Yeah, Randy
trying
tries
to pick up a girl.
to pick up the ladies and invites them back to look at his 8-inch man toys, and then they bail on him.
Well, my wife looks at my 8-inch man toy.
Like Duarte, like.
All right, I'm exaggerating by a few inches. Give or take.
What were you saying, Todd?
Okay.
Like,
Well, maybe
bring a girl back and you have all the figures behind you.
What are you saying? Well, the first time my girlfriend came over and she saw the figures, because I have them in my house. I have like a couple spare rooms, and then after she came to the spare room and she saw it, and she just looked. She goes, "I'm like, I collect wrestling toys. What do you want?" She didn't say anything. I was like, okay.
And then all of a sudden, you started learning new techniques on painting, right, Dwight?
Yeah. Then she ended up. She always saw me painting them because I was making some figures, and she was, she's at my place, whatnot. And after she ended up finding some techniques, and she starts doing the shading now for my work. So she started watching some YouTube things, and then she bought pastels, and now she does like shading for me for like figures, like around like for like chest hair. So you're not using paint and shit like that, right? So you can kind of see the skin. So she does like all my shading now. I do all the painting, and just before I give him the finish, she does like shading for everything. That's cool. So that's my life hack. My girlfriend does my shading for me. You gave away my secret. Come on, Zach. I wasn't ready for that.
I think something shady's going on here, mate.
Yeah. Randy, you have to make it, the advice from Dwight for you is you've got to make it a joint affair. Share your 8-inch rubber dolls around.
Right. So what I do is I'm not, like I said, it's more about collecting. I always sell you guys as artists.
Yeah.
Every time I usually show people all your stuff, right? Like those bushwhackers today, Zach. Killed.
Yeah. Amazing. That's amazing.
I was so happy. Like when I see that, I show people, and you're not a collector of toys at that point anymore. I'm like, Zash made this, and they're like, that's what I do. I sell you guys as artists, not as. So when my girlfriend, the same thing, I explained to her, it's more, what can we make, right? What can we? And then I showed them the Jeff Jarrett video, and I sell people on the things that normal collectors don't really get to see, So
this is the only figure my wife actually is this one here, because it literally can blend in with all her stuff in her china cabinet.
All the crystal cabinet.
Is that the glow in the dark one?
Yeah. Well, no. You can if you put a backlight to it.
No, but Zash, you made some, right? Glow in the dark.
The glow in the dark ones are a slightly more what's the a glow color? It glows in the dark. That sort of color, the greeny color. It's sort of got a bit of it's sort of got a bit of that during the day as well. You can see the little bits sit through it. So, look, some people like the ultra clear ones, and some people like the glow in the dark ones. But in the daytime, definitely the clear ones.
You can find them much easier.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, awesome.
Zash, when you cast, you use vacuums?
Oh yeah, I use vacuums and
so you have multiple. You have multiple vacuums, right?
Yeah, mate. I've got to have backups of both of them because
like a Dyson. You use a Dyson vacuum?
No, not that kind of vacuum.
It's actually like a chamber.
I'm just kidding.
Yes. And with the pressure pot, sometimes if you're doing rubber or something that's going to set very slowly overnight or something, then I'll put it in a pressure pot overnight. So sometimes you're doing that in the day too, and your pressure pot's sort of tied up. You can't use it because something else is slow curing that's in it. So then you need to have another one to do your fast curing stuff as well. Because I do get quite a few orders at times come through.
Yeah.
So it's all about trying to pump them out fast and stay on top of things for me, because I'm not one of those guys that gets an order and then sits on his hands, because I like to get it to the person as soon as I can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
painted ones are a little different because they take a lot longer. Joel's sitting there going, I've ordered figures with you about a year ago.
Yeah, but I don't. I tell people when I order figures off people, I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be work. I want it to be because they're having fun. If the figures is being made because they think they have to get it done for work, then I don't want it. If they're making it because they actually enjoy making it, then I will. Like I have an order with Nick Hales going back from 2017. He keeps. You see them every 2-3 days. He's pumping one out. That one's coming to me. I don't care. As long as they show up, I don't care. A figure doesn't get made in one day. My famous line, Rome wasn't built in a day. Neither was a figure. Have fun making these,
That's exactly right. While we've got you on a roll, we're going to hit your segment of Come On!
With all the crazy things going on in the past and present, we have a man who will tell you exactly how he sees it. Come on! With Duarte DePont.
So basically what we're saying is, now he just put me in a spot, was just saying, when people are making customs, I cannot stand, and I think everyone can say this, is when someone puts a custom out there and people start making fun of the custom and just making fun of how they did it, how they painted, how their body looks, the neck and everything. And people, all the keyboard warriors, like these guys are trying their hardest, painting figures, sculpting them and doing everything. I do not like when people do those laughing emojis. Like there was I think the Halloween costume customs group, someone made a custom figure for the challenge, and someone laughed at the figure. The guy took his figure out. Like, don't degrade people's work because they're doing their stuff. Even if it's not the greatest, at least they attempted. Totally. At least just try, just attempt, but don't bash. You could criticize, but good criticizing, but don't laugh at the person's work, because then you make them not want to do it.
Okay, Dwight, I've got a question for you.
Go ahead.
So, over the internet, there's a lot of back and forth. People can take things the wrong way. People can sort of take something someone says and it can mean something totally different. Brutus mentions this all the time with messages and stuff like that, but it's easy for people to take something the wrong way. What if I got a laughing emoji today on my bushwhackers? The way I took that was the fact that they were laughing at the whole sort of pose and the whole thing of
The
it. I didn't
licking,
take
yeah.
offense to it. So,
But, no,
do
I
you think sometimes someone could take that the wrong way?
potentially, but that's the difference. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, your bushwhackers, those are funny guys. When I think of the bushwhackers, all I remember them is licking people's faces. So when I saw that, I'm laughing at that. You know what the figure, but when you know what I mean when there's a figure, and it may not be the greatest, and then people are laughing at it. It's not so much the laughing; it's making like a comment that's not like great, like makes a person not want to do them anymore.
Yeah.
Like everyone started somewhere. That's for sure.
That was. But you took the words out of my head.
Like
everybody starts somewhere, and I'm telling you, the way I always relate to that is in the beginning when I did this, I was looking at Ted Orsini, and I put a towel in his hand, and I was like, "Oh, I can make Mr. Perfect."
Mm-hmm.
And when I was done, I know I was excited. Long story short, I look back and it wasn't really good because I've done things now so much better. But when people tell you things like, that's a good idea, or, oh, that looks cool. When people give you the positives of what you were trying to do, that makes you want to be better.
Mm-hmm.
And then you naturally get better. In other words, if you have nothing nice to say, right, don't say it at all, right?
Exactly.
But I've made garbage. I've made garbage sometimes. And now that what's nice is the honesty with people, they'll say like, you did a better one here or something. Sometimes I ask their opinion. Like, honestly, what do you think? They're like, it could be this.
Yeah.
But when people keyboard warriors.
I think we've all experienced some hate or negativity somewhere along the line in all of this, and couldn't agree more. How about you, Jason? Have you experienced anything in your time?
Yeah, no, it's been when I first kind of started doing this stuff, I honestly never thought I would be. When I first saw customs, I think I remember Brandon Ward was selling his, and I just was amazed at it, and I actually was just wanting to buy it. But then one thing led to another. I just started trying it out, and the early stuff, people would criticize and say, that's why that choice of color, or they would have the laughing emoji, and I honestly you just ignore it and move on. I don't reply to any of that stuff anyways. So
no, I know, but sometimes like the wrong person may not continue to do it. Just come on, just be nice.
Come on,
be nice. There's no need to be a dick. Just be fucking nice.
Yeah. I'm gonna be straight up. Not much irritates me. Not much bothers me. If someone says something, I'm like, whatever. But there's one thing that irritates me inside that I've never actually brought out into the open, and I have responded a few times to it. But the thing that irritates me is when someone says, "Why?" Why? When you do a Red Rooster or a wrestler that might not be something so.
That's why.
Popular.
Why? Because
why do you fucking think? I wanted one.
You just reply, "Why not?"
Why not?
Seriously.
You've got to take everything with a grain of salt.
That's a really good point, Zash. Big Simbodi just did Siviafi, right? And now Siviafi needs to be recognised. Now, some people, they love it. They love his work. But in the old days, someone would have said, "Why Siviafi? He was a failure." Why? Yeah. Because he was part of the group at the time, couple of pushes, and so a wrestler like Sin is recognising, well, that's the one I want to do.
And I also wanted a Gorilla Monsoon in the ring gear. Why? Because I just wanted Gorilla Monsoon.
That's right.
I can't even get him straight. I can't even get him straight for some reason. I can't even stand straight.
No, you painted that nice.
I can't even stand straight. But you know what? It's not done yet because I still got to do the shading. There we go. Now it's easier. I got to still do the shading where there is. Oh, let me put that away.
Have you put the irises in? Yeah, he looks like he's on coke or something at the moment.
No, not yet. I'm still not done. I'm still doing a little bit of work. This is still the pre-work. I still got to do the chest hair because I don't know if you could see.
I got that on, man. Yeah, and the arms too. Right?
The arms too. So far I've done all the paint. And I'm gonna do the shading and then do the touch-ups. Why? Because you just wanted. Why? Because look at my collection so far, and there's more like underneath, and then there's everywhere, and then there's so many because I need new cabinets. Why? Who gives a shit? Why? Because there was all those guys that were made then. That's why.
That's why.
The reason why they say why is because they can't have it.
Yeah, because they can't do it. Maybe
we'll do more of that. We'll do more of that stuff when we get a chance to talk. We'll,
Hey, Todd,
I finally finished your Haiti Kid.
Dude, that's my favorite figure ever, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, when I was a kid, that thing like bothered me that I had that letter with the name on it.
Yeah.
Oh. And then
I only seen that 2-3 years ago, and then that's when I'm like, oh my god, someone's got to make it.
Yeah.
Hey,
I like
Todd,
that one.
Todd, put me down for one of those.
In your box,
as well.
You didn't have Haiti Kid in your box?
I did. No, I've got Haiti Kid. Yeah. No, put me down for a Gorilla Monsoon.
Oh, Gorilla. Yeah, I wrote it down.
Yeah. Anyone who wants any figures, where can they contact you, Todd?
Either Instagram, you can just message me. But on my website, you can order them. But to be honest, just if you get in touch with me on Instagram, I can communicate better, and then we can.
Yeah.
You can tell me what you want, and we can. It's easier that way.
It's easier that way.
Yeah. It's just when they contact me, they don't, on the site, I list them price by price. But if you talk to me, we can make one deal so I can get them to you. As Duarte knows, we talk, I come up with a number and we're good to go, right? It's simple.
You send him the PayPal, you set it and forget it. When it arrives, it arrives.
I still owe him 3 figures and he's being so nice to me tonight. Right? I only owe him 3.
Who gives a shit? It's going to come. I'm not moving. You're not moving. You're still doing your shit. Like, I don't give a fuck. It's going to show up. I don't care, man.
We're not those fly in, fly out guys that are going to get over this before our deliveries come. We're in this for the long haul, I think. But let's shoot over to Brutus's How's That?
And now, it's your chance to challenge the big historian himself. Ask a question or try to stump the LJN mastermind. Ladies and gentlemen, how's that? With the Fixtorian, Brother Brutus Valentine.
Hello again, people. This week we have another question from Shad Gutierrez, who's a good member of the show and he's really active and going back 2 ways. Now, his question is one that can't actually be answered by facts. It can only be answered by assumptions and propositions. So he asked, why is it that, like, Mr. Fuji's hat was molded to his head, whereas we got things like Slick's hat and the wrestlers' hats who weren't? Now, sometimes when we're looking back in history, we approach it with a deficit model from today. So we say, why wasn't that the thing that happened? We need to go back to the time and look at, well, why did that happen? Because things were done for a totally different reason. It was to make toys for kids and to make product and make a profit. Now, all I can offer for the Fuji, and this is just an assumption, just a comment, is that we rarely saw him without his hat. His hat wouldn't be knocked off his head. We saw him using the cane, everyone, but his hat was a figure of his outfit, and Fuji's one of the best looking figures. The wrestlers took their hats off before they went in the ring, so that's why it was important for them to have the hats as separate. Slick is a different thing, but by 1988, the line was in such decline, they were just doing whatever they were doing. But if you watch Slick get attacked, he lost his hat a lot. If Fuji had took his hat off and flung it, that would be a different thing.
Yeah.
So I think, and even a question that moves on from Shad's question there is, why wasn't Jimmy Hart's megaphone detachable? Because that was the weapon that kids would have used all the time. And that's the question I might ask the panel, why they think they didn't go with Jimmy Hart's. Jimmy Hart came out about August in the 3rd wave of Series 3. The line was still huge then. So there's no cost reason why it shouldn't have happened because they were selling them like crazy. So why wasn't Jimmy Hart's megaphone detachable? And because many British Bulldogs would have got a clonk on the head with that one.
That's great.
That would have been a good accessory, that's for sure.
That's right.
But why wasn't it made? I don't know why, but yeah, it would have been cool. I bet you one of the customizers have made like they could have done exactly what they did with Funk. Made a slot, and it could have gone like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of figures that could have had. Like, why didn't Mean Gene have? Like, why couldn't Mean Gene have a removable microphone?
Well, no one else ever held it
like this.
then.
Look, there you
At
go.
the time,
I
I know,
did,
right.
look, I did one with mine. See, you
And
got like I think every figure should have came with somewhat of an accessory, in my opinion. I don't care what anyone says. Every figure should have came with one thing. You know what I'm saying? At least one.
A belt.
If they had
There's
a belt,
story.
but I think any figure should have came with something. Like, how does Bobby Heenan not come with nothing? You know, he should, like, every figure should have came with an accessory, in my opinion.
And
And we- and
the
Had a neck brace.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
every figure could have came with like a cool accessory, and it would. I bet every accessory would have costed so much more money now if there was like that many accessories to find right now.
I don't know if they necessarily thought like we do too, you know, like
Yeah,
we're thinking after the set.
you're thinking collection wise. Collection
So
wise.
like we think of so much now. We've actually made, so it's easy for us to say that, but back then they probably didn't think like that, you know.
Oh, I mean, they wanted to get as many, as much
What's up,
product
guys?
on
This
the
is
market
Kevin
at
from
one time. In 1986, there was a huge amount of product. So, you know, so that was the key for that. Oh, we just had another person pop up.
Yeah,
I'm trying to work this out. I got sent a file to put on for custom hacks, and
Oh,
me
okay.
being not very good on the computer,
I thought the
can't
hacks
change
had
it.
been hacked then. That's
Well,
your face. Away,
It has,
so that wasn't-
it has in the sense that I can't put it onto MP4, so I can't put it on my usual way. So while you guys are talking, I'm busy trying to set up this next segment, and what do you know? I'm struggling, but that's all right.
and question for the first turn: do you consider? And I think it should be always answered. Do you think the slaughter is part of the collection? I say yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, as part of the
Did you guys-
collection. Yeah.
I think
Yes.
it is.
It-
Your
it-
last
it was
segment,
made-
you guys talked
LJN.
about-
It's not an LJN.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Who said? Who
Yeah.
said it is? Who said it
No,
isn't?
It is. I said
Brutus?
yes.
So, so something that looks like LJN, as long as it looks like LJN and is period correct, is part of the line.
This is
So
part
does
of the
that
line.
mean the old-
And if you have this, you need this.
But you guys,
Right.
you need
and that.
with the bag.
It's hot, man.
That's in the bag.
Yeah.
This
But
is
what you
this
said,
is a-
you said part of the collection, and part of the collection, yes. Now, part of the line, you get people who will say technically no, but you know, it was meant
That's
to be
nice.
part of the line.
I love that.
It's looking pretty good.
So this one is. I know you guys talked about it last segment. You guys were talking about the
bag.
the slaughter, if it was,
The
if it was
bag.
sealed or not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is. It is sealed. It is a
sealed.
sealed bag. Yeah.
and how's it
Yeah.
it sealed? Is it sealed?
It's
as
like
in
it's
with
like
a heat
if
seal?
you can't reuse it once you open it. It's obvious that it's open. So it's like you got to tear it open.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a little
You
heat
can't
seal.
you can't open it and reseal it.
So
How'd you
that's
come
in
to
its
that?
original bag sealed.
Jason, how'd you come
Yeah.
into
Has
that?
Has it
I
still got
won
mold
this-
on it?
It does have mold on it. Yeah.
You won it?
Yeah. I won this in a raffle. I paid I think it was $10 for this.
Rubber
Oh,
Rumble?
my.
What?
Was
Yeah.
that the Rubber Rumble raffle?
No, it was in World. I can't.
Oh, LJ for life?
No, it was a
That's
different.
fine.
It's a different one. I think it
Oh.
was World Wrestling Collections or something. I can't remember the name off my head. but
That's
yeah.
that's hot.
Mate, I'll double
Yeah.
your money right now. $20.
I'll give you 50 Canadian dollars.
Canadian, yeah.
Yeah, the format
I'm
of the show is
in
great.
Vancouver, so
The format you guys got going on here, excellent. Great. Great show.
Thank you very much.
And then-
mate.
and then
Thank you very much.
speaking of the just one thing, Duarte mentioned the accessories. I think this I had to put the Matilda with the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they should have came with. Obviously, they should have came with Matilda, and the part of the tag team would have been awesome as well.
Somewhere behind me, I know there's a Nick Hales made me a Bulldogs. I know he made me a Matilda as well, and I specifically needed a Matilda because like they had to have an accessory. You know, so
exactly.
When you have an accessory for the figure, it's always cool. Like what Zash has with his line with the Macho Man with the glasses and the hat. Yeah. Come on, that's fucking awesome, man. Every figure should have that. Keep doing stuff like that. That's a hint. That's a hint. That's a hint for you, Zash. Oh, your whole line from now on should have accessories. If it doesn't, get on it.
He's a sucker for accessories. All right, let's go over to custom hacks.
Are you a customizer? New to the game? Or looking to learn some new moves? Well, join us as we take you behind the curtain and backstage with Zash Man. Ask him questions. Learn all of his top secrets as we give you custom hacks with the plan Zash Man.
Okay, welcome to Custom Hacks. I'm handing this segment over to some of the expert customizers. We've got plenty lined up that's going to do this custom hacks. I'll do them on the weeks off. This week, we were lucky enough to get the man himself to send us through a hack. His name's Kevin Swales.
Nice. Yeah.
Yes, I'm Kevin Swales.
How's it going,
Kevin?
Hey, Kevin.
Pretty good down here in Texas, and I've got so much talent. I can make customs like you wouldn't believe. Oh, poor Kevin. He's going to see this and think, what's this hack doing on?
All right, listen, the only way I can play this video is this certain way, but it will hear our voices over the top of him. So let's all try and be quiet for a second while we hear the man himself.
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
Oh, shit.
Fuck Kevin.
Yeah, so how the hell do I do this?
He's gone.
How we lost the host. That's crazy.
I'm gone next.
What's up, guys? This is Kevin from Chasm Customs. Here's my 2 cents on doing customs. Before you paint, you need to sand as good as you possibly can. That's making the seams turn invisible, making the cuts and the pinholes go away, smoothing out any roughness, bumps, ridges. You want it to look absolutely smooth before you paint. Other than a Dremel, I've invested in some things that have helped me. A small file set with different shapes. For instance, if you're going to sculpt vests and shirts and hats and things onto a custom, the best way to get it smooth in between where it connects is the triangular shaped file. You can get in there where nothing else will fit and smooth it on down. The round file, perfect for necklines, armpits, crotch areas, things like that. Flat file with the point, you get in them hard to reach places that you can't reach with anything else. To sand down big areas quickly, I suggest sanding discs that go on the orbital sanders. Get you a rough one and a smooth one. These things are better than sandpaper because they're backed with felt. They last a long time, and if you just fold them, got a pretty good shape to work with. You got rounded edge, flat edge. You can knock things out quick. Smaller areas that you need sanding, I recommend emery boards for your fingernails. One side rough, one side smooth. If you're going to paint your figure, it's going to show if you didn't do a good job sanding. So get you the right tools and take a little bit of time. 5 minutes makes all the difference. See ya.
Okay, so there you go. We heard it from the man with probably the best accent in the world.
Yeah.
He's on par with Todd Tomeo.
Concise, short, to the point, and so many tips there. That's fantastic.
Yeah. He does great
one
work.
Of the best, too.
Yes.
One of the best.
I agree.
One of the best, absolutely. So, look, guys, that's what you get by watching this show. You get to pick up tips from the best customizers in the business. You get to hear a lot of facts from Brutus. You get to hear, you get to see Dwight smoke a lot of joints, and you get people like Todd and Jason that come on here and tell us about their experience. So, what more can you ask for? The show's got everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And we're also going to be giving away a prize. So, guys, I know you're messaging like crazy. We want to see more messages come through. The person with the most interesting message will win this clear Ken Patera figure. So, Brutus, what have we got so far? Read out some messages, would you?
Oh, well, we've got another one from Joe Pecker saying, this was from the conversation before, I bet the Bulldogs came out before they started using Matilda as a mascot, which is the case. They came out in August and the planning was 6 months before that. Caleb Langford joined when Kevin was talking. Kevin is 100% correct. And Caleb Langford, he ain't no hack either at the customizing business. Matthew Garfield suggested masks for the Killer Bees. Matthew Garfield was actually from the earlier conversations when Dwight was doing his come on about, not criticising but critiquing. He says it doesn't happen much in this group because it's good people. And let's see. Oh, Kevin Swales has got some pretty good emojis coming up there. A skull and a rattlesnake. And, of course, because I don't have a phone, I don't even know what they mean. No, I think that's because someone wrote, that's the bottom line because Stone Cold Swale says so. And you're right. What a voice. What a voice.
What a voice.
Yeah.
He's the Stone Cold voice. I said that from the start. He's awesome.
He should be a grade school teacher. What do you reckon, Todd? Do you reckon the kids will give him any crap when he talks to them like that?
He would be perfect. He'd be perfect.
Yeah,
he would be perfect.
They'd be shit scared of him.
And the other thing I wanted to say, because when the customizers are talking, I don't like interrupting because I learn. We all learn. I just want to congratulate Jason on what is some of the most unique take on customs that we're seeing, and actually changing the way they look and the different actions and the poses in some of your work. So that's taking it to another level, and that's something you really should be commended for.
Oh, appreciate that. So just thinking out outside the box, and just I look at the figure and I just say, what if, and I just turn the what if into something that I can, display, and fortunately it actually works. Turns out. So yeah, no, thanks for that. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you did some good poses that I've seen in the past with Macho Man and was it King
Flying
Haku?
elbow. Yeah.
Oh, that was the flying elbow. The honorable mention award for the right, something like that.
Yes.
Best idea or something.
Yes.
And
the coronation too. No.
I like that, Jason. That was good.
As an image.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, now we're going to go show the customs of the week. Customs of the week is all the customs that were posted on LJN Elite Custom Figures. So, guys, don't forget when you do a custom, make sure you post it in the LJN Elite Customs group because at the end of the week we will put you on this video. We're going to run the video in its entirety. And at the end of the video, we will have a little discussion about what we thought of the figures. If you guys have a pen and a paper or something, jot down anything you want to say after the video. Let's get on with it.
Customs of the week.
Awesome.
All right, guys. There's all the customs. Unfortunately, I had a message up for the first part of the video that I left up there, but I think we all know the names of everyone who did it. The customs on there. What's your thoughts, guys?
There were a lot of good ones.
Yeah.
The Andre,
Like the one that got the competition that you do every month for the picture of the page. Like that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who did that one, but that Danny DeVito one was
Hilarious.
it was a hilarious one. It was a good one, you know.
Anthony Rossi.
I think it was his name, but I can't remember the names.
Anthony
I apologize for not remembering the name of the people, but yeah, I know the Danny DeVito was a really cool one. The Ric Flair, I do like always seeing a good Ric Flair, and Claudio, the guy he's another Canadian from Quebec. He's been doing a lot of good work lately. That was a good one. The other one that I liked seeing there was the Kevin Swales demolition one, the one that he had for the competition. The artwork that he did on the leg and everything, and all the paint. Like he did really good work out there. And that Chris Jericho, I'm not sure who did the Chris Jericho, the one it was, but I do like Chris Jericho, and I never seen that many Chris Jerichos, and that was a good pose.
Yeah, Chris Jericho is a whole new one. That was done by Alan Carpenter, but Kevin Peckley had a lot to do with the casting of it, I think, and the sculpting. They work very well together. I think there's a few guys, maybe Caleb as well, seems to have a lot to do with Kevin. He seems a very talented guy. Do you know him, Todd?
Kevin, which one? Which one? Picky said?
Kevin Peckley.
No, I might have spoken to him, but not that I remember, I guess.
Right. He seems a very quiet sort of guy, but
he goes about his way. Is he the Fury Customs or something like that?
Yes, that's
I have.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes. So he seems to be doing a lot of good stuff as well with the 3D printing of things. Isn't it funny? Like I find this such a good segment. I can go back on the whole week, and I don't do it until like the day before the podcast is when I start going back and looking at all the customs in a week, and I'm thinking these all got done in 1 week. These all got put on this group in 1 week.
It's incredible.
Like all the customs, it's incredible. Like I'm hoping that you guys keep up this great work and just keep pumping out these good customs, and it gives us a hell of a lot to talk about. It gives us a hell of a lot of eye candy.
Yeah. When I had Tom do my smash head for the set, I sculpted the body while I was waiting for him to do that. It was part of like my learning process. And so that smash body I sculpted, I sent that to Kevin. That's the body he said he used on the Andre, which is funny. I didn't realize that until he mentioned it. He said, "Did you see my Andre? That's the smash you sent me." I thought that was like brilliant, you know?
Yeah.
And the Danny DeVito. Who did the Danny DeVito? That was phenomenal.
I think he said Anthony
Rossi.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, look, that was done a little while ago. But the reason why I put it on the video is because every month you're not really a Facebook guy, Todd. So I'll fill you in every month on Elite Custom Figures. We we get people to post in. We run a little competition and get people to post all their little customs in the not little customs, but customs in the comments section. And the one with the most likes basically gets the cover photo for the rest of the month, or for the month. And we swap it every month, so there's a new cover photo every month. So yeah, it's a bit of fun, and it gives people to showcase their custom at the top of the page, which is a bit of a buzz for people as well.
Who in the intro? I think I saw a Hogan head. He's like that. Was that?
In the intro to this show?
Intro to the segment? I think the segment that you just showed.
Oh, yes. That was done by Nick Johnson, probably the best customizer all around in the world. So
I know who that is. Yeah.
Yeah, he's an Aussie guy as well. And I talk to him all the time. He's just a freak. Yeah. He's that good.
One of the ideas, I have so many that I've written down. It's at this point, you know, I try to do so much, but with Hogan, I want to capture when he's getting interviewed by like Mean Gene, and he's got that, you know what I'm saying, like that excited, big-eyed. I want to capture that so bad with Mean Gene. You know, there's certain things in my head that I remember growing up as a kid that just made me smile, right? It makes you like, this is fantastic. The best wrestler ever, the best mic guy. This is, and when I saw that Hogan head, you know, I was inspired by seeing that. I was like, oh, that's where we need to be with that. That's cool. I like that a lot.
I don't know how you do it, mate, because I got inspired by your podcast you did on the Figure Guys with David and the crew. Sorry, my door keeps opening and shutting with the wind, so I'm just going to close this again, and it'll swing open again in a few minutes. But I got inspired when I was watching that podcast you did on the Figure Guys, and you were talking about ZBrush and all that, and how Sin Bodhi you were teaching him. So
yeah, it worked. Yeah.
I went and got the free ZBrush version and had a little play with it, and I made this object that looked kind of like an alien, which is the best I could do. so
did I. When I first started, I
didn't know what shapes I was putting where. All I know is it was changing, and man, a lot of respect to you guys who do this. It's just one of those things that
Sin,
takes a lot of practice.
You know, Sin on the phone, like he'll call me, and like for an hour and a half sometimes, we're talking about the program, and we're talking about something so simple. He's like, suppose I wanted to slice this, but like something simple that he needed to know how to do, right? And there's that learning curve, and he got good fast. Like, he learned how to move, manipulate, and like in a week or two, and it was cool. I mean, he put the time in, but like you said, it's a learning curve.
He's definitely bringing some good stuff to the table. I mean, I'm enjoying looking at Sin's progress. And we've got a comment here from Fan Sports. Do we know who this person's name?
No, I can't. I'm not seeing all the comments for some reason.
I think he's messaging on YouTube. He's got a YouTube symbol there, so it's probably because he's messaging on YouTube. He wants to know if there's an upcoming show on non-LJN customs. Look, predominantly we're an LJN show, but Nick Johnson will be coming in. I think it's either next week or the week after, or the next few weeks. Nick Johnson will be coming on. Now he's done some LJNs, but he's mostly a Mattel M16 scale customizer. So he'll be coming on to chat. So whoever Fan Sports is, appreciate you watching. Stick around for that one. You might be a Mattel guy. Let us know.
The Figure Guys podcast has been doing quite a bit non-LJN lately. So
yep, absolutely. They've got a few good Mattel guys coming up as well, I think, in the next few weeks.
I've got a question for young Jason there. Sorry to talk over you, Zash, but I'm mindful of the time. Jason, it's actually two questions. Joe Petkus said in a question, and I'll deal with this one secondly. I don't think there's ever been a Hogan head that depicts late in the match wet hair Hogan. So that's the second question I've got for Jason. I'll get back to that. But the first one is, tell us about your T-shirt work that you do on LJN Customs. That's some of the finest detail I've ever seen, and maybe not everyone knows about that.
The T-shirt work. So so from the merchandise catalog, you mean?
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. So I decided to literally put all the logos and T-shirts onto the LJN. So I've just been slowly kind of work with Cincy LJN, and he'll just put together the logo, and he just literally does amazing work, and makes it pretty easy to apply the decals onto the shirts. But I mean, the goal for that is really just to mimic that whole merchandise catalog, and
I like that. I like that.
And have them all lined up and displayed as if they were, people can actually pick out the shirt they want, like they did back in the day. So
I like that, dude.
That's a cool idea.
We might be able to feature that work in an upcoming book. So
how many have you done?
Just quickly.
Duarte, I probably have done maybe 15 figures with shirts now.
So the figure has the shirt.
That's pretty good.
The painted on?
Sorry, Todd?
It's painted on the shirt? The shirt's painted?
Yeah, they're painted on, yeah. Like I can Like this one here. I could,
have you got the Bundy and?
like this one is
That's
Brutus with his shirt
That's
on,
with his barber shirt.
and then
Yep.
Animal with
I'm an
his
animal
shirt on.
lover.
Sweet, nice.
Has that still got the hair on Animal? Have you still got the hair on Animal? Or did you sand that off? Did you sand
No,
the hair?
I actually, no, the hair is still on this one, so I I got lazy on that one, Zach. I got lazy and didn't sand it off.
That's all right. You can't see it from here anyway, so you could have lied.
Yeah, so
That calls them out.
yeah. So I've done like Strike Force, Killer Bees, Billy Jack Haynes, Andre, Jake. Yeah.
I like that.
I like the shirts. They look good.
And I'll
I thought it was
get
made.
to the second part.
I think we got a table.
Joe Pecker's question gave me an idea that I think Jason might be able to resolve. So, Joe, I'll say it again. I don't think there's ever been a Hogan head that depicts late in the match, wet hair Hogan. And I was thinking, has anyone actually ever done Hogan when he's down on his knees and he starts hulking up and shaking his head? Because, Jason, you can capture movement. One of the things that you're a specialist at is you get this dynamic movement into figures. And that image of Hogan, doing a hulking up and that sort of stuff, that's a challenge we present to you, sir.
Yeah, no, that's an amazing idea for sure. If somehow mimic that type of that dance would be amazing. Yeah, I mean anything's really possible when you can really adjust the movement and mold the figures. It's really
That's what Todd does.
really
That's
yeah.
very.
I mean, another idea I had, and I was thinking of doing a Bret Hart in a sharpshooter position. Was another one. So yeah.
So when you're done the show, send Todd a message and then get something together, and he can help you out. You guys, there you go. Collaborate with Todd right there. Boom.
I was just saying to myself, I wrote his name, dude. I wrote Jason's name so I'd remember.
Yeah. No, for sure.
As soon as he was talking, I was like,
we'll definitely do something.
I'm talking to this guy. That's how I work, Jason. That's how I work. I hear people, and then I want to do like the same things. It's great. Awesome.
That's
Well,
awesome.
it's almost time to wrap up the show, guys. But before we do you know, originally this show was meant to be a 40-minute show. We planned it all to be 40 minutes. We can't do it in 40 minutes. It's too much shit to talk about.
Too much.
Right now, this is the prize. And it's going to be delivered to the lucky winner's door. You've all had a chance to comment. You've all been watching the show. Do you know you can even see the WWF thing on his
That's great
shirt there in the right line. But anyways, alrighty, folks. Over to you, Brutus. Read through the letters. Let us know who the lucky winner is this week. Every few weeks, we're going to give away prizes. So
we had a lot of good interaction this week, but I reckon the person for consistency, and this is going to sound like an inside job, but was Mr. Joe Petka this week. I think was the winner of the Royal Rumble. And,
have you got a particular message?
Well, I think he was helping guys answer questions, but the Bulldogs came out before they started using Matilda as a mascot. Then he said, I don't think there's ever been a Hogan head that depicts late in the match wet hair Hogan. And Joe is actually, he makes a lot of Hogan customs.
Yep. Do you reckon Joe's gonna cut this up and put a Hogan head on him?
Yeah, I reckon.
I'll send him a clear Hogan head, and he can glue the Hogan head on it.
And Harvey Snoots, of course, would come in second for consistency. But it's a Ken Patera, so Snoots doesn't want that.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I appreciate everyone else who's been watching and messaging. Fan Sports, you're a new one. Fan Sports 5, appreciate your messaging. Caleb, you were very interactive with us. Appreciate it, buddy. And everyone else, I can't see everyone's names on there because you have to sign into StreamYard for me to see your names, but Brutus keeps up with all that for me. Look, guys, great show. Appreciated it. Todd, you're always interesting, mate.
Who said
Appreciate
the comment of?
Oh, yeah, and you're not working hard enough, Todd. I think you need to produce a bit more, by the way.
Pull your finger out, Todd. Jason, thanks for coming on the show, buddy. You've been a delight to talk to.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Brutus Duarte.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers, boys.
Until next week.
Everyone, see you next week on LJN Fight Night.